Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mega Cares. My name is Tony Gonzalez. So happy to be with you another Sunday, another great guest. You know, on the show, we love to talk to folks who are doing some good in this community and making a difference. That's really what the show is primarily kind of built around, was who's out there, what can you do to make a difference in your world, whether it's with one person, 10 people, 100 people, or thousands of people. That's what changes a community. You can be the change in that world. Coming up soon, we've got a great little festival that we're going to do out on the streets of West Main Street. And one of the folks that are going to be out there is Chuck Madson. Chuck is with me today. He is the Substance Abuse Treatment Program Manager, and this is for the Family Service Agency. How are you, Chuck? Good to have you here.
I'm doing great, Tony. Thank you for having me.
You must have a heck of a story, because you don't just roll into that kind of position. Where are you from? And let's get that out of the way first.
Originally, I was born in San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
Had my own struggles as a youth, growing up, influences,
Sure.
stuff like that. Spent a lot of time in the juvenile justice system and treatment centers as a teenager. Then, after that experience, went into my own addiction for quite a long time, for about 13 years.
Looking back on it, do you think there was people there that you could identify that were trying to reach out to you and help you, and you weren't at that point yet?
Absolutely. Through experiences with the probation department, through treatment centers, there were people that stuck out. And, looking back, understanding that, there are people in those positions that really do care, that really do make a difference. It influenced how I do a program today. How I collaborate with agencies in the community to make a difference in the youth's lives, and working closely with people like the probation department, with courts, with all those other agencies, has made a huge impact on the youth that we serve.
Talk to me about that moment that life kind of turned around. You're like, I'm done living this life, or I'm done. I want to live.
Well, I was in prison.
Okay.
I ultimately went to prison for manufacturing methamphetamine, and was sitting in prison and wanted to do something different. Finally had an opportunity in my life at about 35 years old to make a difference. Started reaching out, to community, resources in the Santa Barbara County, and somebody responded. There was a teacher that's working at Allen Hancock. Her name is Sharon Elam, and she sent me a bunch of information on Santa Barbara County. So I came here, on parole, moved into Lompoc, didn't know anybody.
Never knowing anything.
Didn't know anybody.
Well, that's a way to get a fresh start.
Yeah, started
it's probably
over.
Good for you.
Yep, started over, went to school, and started working in treatment the day I got off parole. And I've been doing it ever since, for about 10 years now.
Now, talk to us about those first early years, because I'm sure it was, you kind of had to find that voice within you to motivate people. How was that for you?
Using my own experience,
Mm-hmm.
Using my own experience and struggles, through my life, and really communicating, that empathy towards the addict still suffering, or the youth that are experimenting with drugs and alcohol, made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hugely rewarding,
Mm-hmm.
to see the light turn on in somebody. And like I said, that those relationships with other community organizations, that's the first thing I did as a counselor, was reach out and say, we're all working together, let's try and, make the most impact we can on the individuals we serve. And that's been a huge, huge success.
What are you finding that with the kids these days? What is it that's causing them to go to that? Has that changed at all in all these years, or it just still for some of them, it's just they want to feel good and forget about all the bad stuff that's going on?
Well, we know, the social factors, social media, the internet,
Mm-hmm.
all those types of things. They're the things that they're fed, through those avenues, are more impactful than they were 20 years ago, 15 years ago. They're seeing a lot more than they used to see.
It's a
especially
tougher
the
world
youth.
for them. It really is.
It is.
Compared to when I grew up. I'm sure when you grew
Yeah.
up, having that social media, that's a whole new leg to it. That, wow, it can really change people's lives for the worse.
Absolutely. And we're seeing, pharmaceuticals, the pills and experimenting with that types of substances, really common these days. I was watching a movie recently, that was about addiction called Beautiful Boy. And at the end of the movie, they had statistics and said that, the largest reason for Americans, how did they put it? The highest rate of death for Americans under the age of 50 is overdose now.
Wow.
And that's directly related to pharmaceutical, and prescription
Because
drugs.
you're going into mom and dad's cabinet.
Going into mom and dad's cabinet.
Maybe mom needs for whatever, and dad's using for whatever, and they're mixing them and know what to do and get that little buzz or more, but don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah, and then opening up that door, that experiment, that experimenting with substances, like it used to be alcohol, it used to be marijuana. Now it's a whole nother level, of substances and experiences.
Wow.
So
now, where are most of your youth and folks that you work with? Are they out of here in Santa Maria now?
We are currently in Santa Maria. We really changed our program dynamics over the past 4 months. I just started with the agency about 4.5 months ago.
Okay.
My motivation has always been youth and young people. So FSA, provided me with a position to put together the most impactful program for our youth, 12 to 24 years old, and gave me an open slate. They said, "This is what we would like to put together a program that makes a difference. We want to grow that program. We know that you can make that happen for us." So we started looking at the dynamics of why youth aren't coming to program, what's restricting them with receiving those services, the stigma behind getting treatment, when it comes to substance abuse. So we tried to, address those issues.
How do you do that? Is that just with them one-on-one and saying, "Hey, I know what you feel about this," and presenting with actual facts?
Well, the first thing is, why aren't people coming to program? And a lot of the times when families, or parents or individuals call a treatment center, some of the first things they hear are, "How are you going to pay for program? Do you have insurance? Do you have the funding to, pay for program or pay for services? Are there, bilingual issues,
right.
Spanish-speaking groups like that?" So immediately the first thing we did is we said, all program is free. We reduced all fees. We got rid of all fees. We will provide services for 12 to 24-year-olds, regardless of ability to pay. We immediately hired all bilingual staff.
Okay.
We have a Mixteco interpreter available full-time, which nobody else does.
No.
And then we started looking at program dynamics. Are we just providing groups or individual counseling? We know that there's so many issues that come into why youth use or why they experiment, either generational issues, environmental issues like influences, peer influences. So then we hired a doctor. We hired a medical doctor to address medical needs. We hired a LMFT case manager who we brought up from Long Beach and relocated to our area just for the job. And then his whole focus is just school issues, what's going on at home. Let's get them connected to mental health, that's also an issue. So we put together a program that, addresses every area of need and provided this program for free.
So every person that comes in, those are their safety nets. Those are the guys that they're going to go to. Kind of a specialty for all.
Yep.
For all your different areas that you're going to be looking at.
Exactly. We know that age group, 12 to 24-year-olds, if we can make an impact and provide options early on, they'll have those resources or those tools later on in life to get the help that they need. And that, I learned that from my own experience going through those programs, as a kid, and remembering that experience and how, impactful that was then that led me to the path that I'm on now. So,
wow. How many are in this program right now?
Currently, we have about 20 in program. We have no limit on capacity.
Wow.
So part of that.
That's a huge statement to say, because, you're covering a wide area to be able to cover that. Man, that's great.
Well, FSA is a huge organization. FSA has services that are provided countywide besides the substance abuse treatment. We provide services from infant to elderly.
Okay.
School-based counselors, family outreach. We contract with Big Brothers Big Sisters, other programs like that. And FSA has been providing services in the Santa Barbara County for over 100 years. So with those supportive services, with what they already have going on, and the amazing structure that Family Service Agency has, we're really focused on this program, growing it countywide and providing the services, because we know it's something that's needed in our community.
Oh, it's got to be, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just about
Yeah.
getting the word out, doing that outreach,
Yep.
and having them go, okay, let's call.
Absolutely.
Call. So when let's say I'm a parent calling,
Okay.
how does that get handled?
So we have various ways to get in touch with us. You can call our office.
We'll get you that phone number right now. You're just digging into his bag phone number for you.
You can directly call our office at 805-928-1707. You can call me directly. I have a cell phone that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 805-319-5626. Or if you're more comfortable with email, just send me an email at cmadson, that's CMADSON, at fsacares.org. And then we'll take it from there.
And so I just write you and say, hey, man, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
My kid, I think, has already had these issues at school. He just got popped for this. He's in juvie. Whatever it is. Here's my story.
Yep.
Help.
Yeah.
Really?
12 to 24 years old, give me a call, give us a call at the office, and we'll take it from there.
That's
We'll
amazing.
make it as easy as possible for you to get connected to services. So
Now, Chuck, you were talking a little bit about you were going out and you're seeing folks. You were going to places and probably speaking and seeing schools. Are kids coming up to you too, and then they're saying, "Hey, I don't want to be this person." Has that happened yet to you?
we have, we've gotten youth, since we started the program. We've gotten youth because we've been doing a lot of outreach, that go to parents and say, maybe it's time for me to get some help. And then we're getting the calls from the parents, saying, we're ready to come in, we're ready to make a change, and we'll take it from there. One thing also that we added with program is that, a lot of the programs that are out there are standard. You have to attend a certain amount of groups, you have to attend a certain amount of things. We've made program completely adjustable depending on the client's needs. So if a client comes to us and says, I don't feel comfortable sitting in a group with a bunch of other people, we can just do individual counseling and help them out that way too.
Because everybody does it in different ways.
Exactly.
It's just opening that door a little bit,
Yeah.
so you can open it a little bit more.
Yeah. There are so many different needs of our youth.
Wow.
So many different things that are going on. So we've tried to do everything that we can to accommodate each individual that comes into our program.
So in your program as well, I know there are some substance abuse programs where the kids go away and they're just gone. And I don't know much about those treatment centers, but I've had personal experience from our family members, and it just seems like they've gone 2 times. And I'm like, from our outside going, well, I'd sure like a few months off to go relax and get myself together, I mean, how is it yours? Because I don't think yours, they don't go away. They're still within their families and still within their lives, right?
Yeah, we work with them, in a community environment. Like I said, looking at all the areas of need, communicating with all the people that are involved in their lives, whether it be schools, their parents, whatever it is, and we want them to be successful right here where they live.
Yeah.
Looking at where they live, because ultimately they're going to come back here.
That's right. And that's when it gets tough.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the old friends start coming around, or whatever lifestyle they were in. It's so easy to just slide right back into that.
Yeah. So they need that support to continue living where they're at, and have options.
Wow.
So.
Okay, and where are you based out of?
We're at 105 North Lincoln.
Okay.
Right off of Broadway in Maine. Big 2-story building right across from the tire shop. Stop on by.
And people just walk in if they want to?
You can walk in if you want to. We're there between 10 and 7. Office is open, and we can get you the help you need.
We're talking to Chuck Madson. He is the Substance Abuse Treatment Program Manager for the Family Service Agency. We're talking about treatment for you, for your kids, for your family, for whoever you love in life. This is a program that doesn't cost you any money and that has the resources for you. The future, what's that looking like for you? Getting this program up and going, and what do you kind of see in the future for you?
We've had a lot of positive response, especially to the dynamic of program that we put together. We're seeing all types of individuals contact us and get it going. We're looking at expanding. We're looking at other areas. We're looking at other areas of need or where services aren't being provided, and how we can address that. We know that transportation, especially for the youth, is a struggle.
Yeah.
How are they going to get to program? If parents are working, and they're attending school or whatever else is going on in their lives. So, we're looking at those areas of Santa Barbara County that are in need, and we want to expand there. We want to be able to provide services countywide for ages 12 to 24 and provide the help for the youth that are out there. You know?
When these kids get in trouble, is there also help through your group legally for them to kind of figure it out? Or are you going into, juvie courts and talking to them and saying, look, we want to get him in this program. We think it's he or she is a good candidate for this?
Yeah, we're already doing that. We work really closely with Santa Barbara County Probation Department, the Mental Health Department, and with the level of treatment that we're providing, we're getting that connection going.
That's good. That's a big help. They don't want to deal with them on the business end.
No, they're busy.
They are.
Unfortunately, they're busy. So
for you, we talk about substance abuse. Santa Maria also in the past, and I know now we have gangs, but doesn't seem as big an issue. But a lot of them, that's how the money's being made, and that's how these kids see that they get quick money, and it's kind of the trap for them. How are you guys working with that?
So understanding that influence, especially when it comes to the easy money that's made, usually by selling or part of that lifestyle, is providing options. Working with agencies like Goodwill, that provide jobs for youth, 16 to 18-year-olds. They're doing a great program right now where they're even providing jobs for kids that are on probation.
Wow.
So really reaching out into those other agencies in the community, finding out what services they provide, and then connecting that information to our youth,
Right.
that are in program. We just don't want to be, just providing substance abuse treatment. We want to
Right.
look at all those other supportive services that are out there in the community to achieve success for these youth, because they're struggling.
Yeah.
And we know that the drugs are just the symptom, or the outlet, to deal with whatever they're dealing with. It's a whole lifestyle change. Make it, supporting them to believe in themselves and do something different.
Now you guys are going to be joining us for the event coming up real soon. We're going to shut down West Main Street. They're going to be riding bikes. Back in the day, because you didn't grow up here, I used to ride my bike down that, and I had no issue, but I don't ever remember them shutting down the whole street to have a whole festival, essentially.
It's going to be a great event.
Now, you're going to be out there with information and pamphlets, people will be able to meet you?
Yep, I'll be out there for the whole event, setting up, tearing down. We'll have a table out there with a lot of information on our other services, and I'll be walking around, passing out our flyers and our brochures and trying to give, share the information.
Well, this is a great thing. I know you're here in Santa Maria. Are there areas in Lompoc or anywhere else that they can go to, or is it just here in Santa Maria right now?
Currently, we are just here in Santa Maria.
Okay, but you're looking at maybe branching out to
We're
those other
absolutely
areas.
looking at branching out of those other areas.
It's a matter of, I would imagine, just kind of getting the system right so that you can duplicate it in another town.
Exactly.
Because there is the need, my gosh.
Yeah, and I've been doing it, in Lompoc and Santa Maria for over 10 years, with other agencies. Wow. And I'm proud to say I've been really successful, providing services with other agencies. But my motivation has always been the youth.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other programs that are out there are providing both, youth, adults, and I want to make the most powerful impact to the youth.
Looking back on the 10 years that you've done, and you don't have to give us a name, obviously, but talk to me about the one or two success stories in your mind, and it doesn't mean that they went from here and are making $1 million anywhere to you, whatever success is to you. Talk to me about those couple of success stories that you've kind of had over the years, because I would imagine you've had more than a couple.
Yeah, got a few success stories and some losses too, which are painful. We had a really, starting to work in the treatment field. I was hired as an adolescent counselor in Lompoc, and really working with youth that were on probation. And we had a couple of those gang members, that were stuck in that lifestyle. And after sitting down and sharing my story with them, they wanted to do something different. And there was one, that was a star baseball player, for Lompoc High. Unfortunately, in that gang lifestyle, on probation, and he made a decision. He said, "What can I do to, get away from this? Can you help me get away from this lifestyle?" Right. And we knew that putting on an ankle bracelet, with the help of the probation department, would keep his, fellow, gang members away from him, because then they would always know where we're at.
Right.
So We contacted probation office, contacted the schools, contacted the coach, and we said, can he play baseball
right.
with an ankle bracelet on? And we figured out a way to make it work.
Wow.
And he went on to play, baseball for Lompoc High and is now very successful.
That's
awesome. Has moved on.
A little out of the box thinking right there.
Yeah.
So many times they're forced to wear it and they're like, but this time you kind of said, well, how can we use it to help us?
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
It's experiences like that. I have a guy that's in my life now, an adult client that I had built a relationship with through program, and now he's managing a sober living.
That's awesome.
And he's part of our lives, me and my wife's lives on a daily basis. We do projects around the house together, and he just took over a year clean.
Wow.
So he's really making a difference in the community. And there's, a lot of people working in the treatment field in Lompoc and in Santa Maria that are huge success stories, and it was just, that one person that reached out to them while they were struggling that said, let's try something different.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
you guys are all mentors and saving lives, and I know you don't save them all.
No.
But that'd be impossible to do, but you're definitely doing a great job, and we appreciate it very much.
Appreciate that.
Once again, it's Chuck Madson, and he is with Family Services Agency. Looks like you can give him a call at 805-319-5626. That is for the 12 to 24.
Exactly.
12 to 24-year-olds. And then they obviously can go to a website if they need to find out more information about Family Services Agency.
FSA Cares.
FSA Cares. All right, man, this is a really good thing. I'm looking forward to having you guys out there. If there's anything we can do, we always support something like this. Is there also a Facebook site by any chance?
They do. They have
really?
all social media, Facebook, Instagram, everything, and
they're up to date on everything.
FSA is, like I said, is an amazing organization with their own marketing department, and their structure is really powerful. And they're really in it for the long run,
right.
To make a difference in all.
What
the
a huge jump for you, though, too, for somebody to go, hey, we want you to create the program that works.
Yeah.
And I mean, that had to have been a great day for you to kind of go, wow.
Very exciting.
Especially compared to where you were.
Exactly.
Think about that. That's wild, and then to see it working every single day is a really good thing, man. That's a great feeling, and I'm so happy to have you part of our community. How do you like living here now?
I still live in Lompoc.
Do you?
Okay. I come over every day, but I love Santa Maria. I'm really involved in the recovery community in Santa Maria also.
Awesome.
And I've been doing that for many years, and Santa Maria is a great place.
It's funny, I've talked to people who, you either lived here forever or you've come from bigger cities, and I've had so many friends that are just like, I never thought I'd stay here, but man, I don't want to leave. This is great,
Yeah, love it.
And especially for somebody like you who sees, for less than better words, the underbelly of everything. You're not seeing roses and daisies every day. Let's put it that way.
No.
You're more than often there are the success, but before they become success, they got to walk in kind of broken, and that can kind of tear on you. How do you keep yourself motivated to go?
I stay in the recovery. Like I said, I'm part of the recovery community in Santa Barbara County. I take care of myself. That's part of it.
That's an everyday struggle.
That's an everyday struggle.
Yeah.
But I get a good feeling by giving back.
Yeah.
Once I got into recovery and once I got into the treatment field, the feeling of being able to give back, the openness of those people that we work with, in trusting, the good deeds and things like that. The miracle of my life today, I can't say enough about, and
that's
it's
awesome.
it's just from getting clean and sober.
And that's just you go home and you just feel good about it. Nobody can take that away from you.
I have a great life today.
It is, it is, man. And, there's bad days, but tomorrow there's another chance at it. So
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Chuck Madson, once again, from the Family Services Agency. We love having you in here, and thanks for being a part of this community and doing what you do, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Next week, we'll have another great guest here on Mega Cares. Of course, if you have any suggestions, you can always call the front desk here at Emerald Way Media and suggest somebody is doing something good in this community, because we don't get to see them all. Sometimes you guys see them, and we don't know about them yet. We'd love to hear your opinion. Of course, you catch the show also on Facebook. It gets put out there on the Mega Facebook. If you get a chance, you can listen to past shows. All have a similarity with them. All have that mentorship. All have that giving to the community. All have that love for themselves, for the community, for their family. You start to see a pattern here. And I tell you, when somebody tells you you're from a special town, you're from a special place, you're from special people, Santa Maria, Lompoc, Napomo, all the way up to San Luis. This is a special area, and there are people within it that are doing good things. And sometimes they get awards. Sometimes you see them, Chamber will give them an award, but more often than not, those people are just out there working hard and they don't care about awards. They're just out there doing it, much like Chuck Madson. So next time you're out there and you see them around, give them a shake, tell them thanks for being a part of this community and making it what it is. You've been listening to Mega Cares right here on Mega 97.1.